Good morning. I'm Roberta Glass, and you're listening to my True Crime Report. I have been shadow banned on Twitter. For those of you who don't know what shadow banning means, it means if you don't already follow me, you cannot find me on Twitter, and you cannot see my tweets. So it's pretty much modern day censorship, and for a small podcast like mine, it's been pretty hard. I would say devastating, maybe. Hard, devastating. You pick your adjective, descriptor. It's been hard, and so I started a new Twitter account at True Glass. Thank you for the 10 people who are following me on there. It's really difficult also to get in touch with Twitter. They don't want you to know that you're shadow banned. And I never use the word shadow ban in my emails to the help desk, but they are no help, and it seems to just go on endlessly. This has been a couple months now. So follow me at True Glass for updates on this podcast and updates on true crime, popular true crime stories and topics. Of course, Nexium too. So I wanted to do something that I'd seen done so well on the Steve Kane show about Hurricane Carter. And you can see that in my playlist, Hurricane Carter Guilty. It's Steve Kane show, Hurricane Carter segment. It has episodes 1, 2, and 3 there, I believe. And that is look at a popular true crime case via a myth-making song. Now, they explored the song Hurricane by Bob Dylan. I'm going to talk about Lucinda Williams' amazingly inaccurate song about the West Memphis 3. It would be almost funny if it weren't so sad that people actually believe this about this case. And it's called West Memphis. And it has a kind of rather long intro, so I might just skip some of that and go. So it starts off with a little moody intro, and then listen to her first line, and I want you to see if you hear what I hear.
Little boys are found in the river on a sweltering summer night.
Okay, did you hear that? Did she just say 2 little boys died in a river on a sweltering summer night? Okay, first of all, does anyone call May 5th a summer night? And there were 3 victims: Michael Moore, Stevie Branch, and Christopher Byers. What the heck? What the heck? And what's interesting is when you look up the lyrics, it says 3, but clearly, did I just hear 2? What did you hear? Let me know in the comments. Okay, continuing on.
Not one soul ever figured it out who created that terrible sight. Somebody.
Okay, no one figured out who did it? Who created that terrible sight? So I guess the terrible sight is the victims submerged in water. It was a terrible sight. But there were 2 different trials. They were both convicted. Damien-Echols and Jason Baldwin had a trial together. Jesse Miskelly had a trial alone. They were convicted by 2 different juries. And it wasn't a mystery. It wasn't a mystery at all. And all 3 of the convicted confessed at one time or another. Echols to the softball girls, Jason Baldwin to another gentleman he was incarcerated with early on before he went to, I believe it was before he went to trial. And Jesse Miskelly has confessed so many times. What are we at? 7, 8 plus? I mean, 6 plus? He confessed all the way in the back of the car on the way to jail to the policeman. He confessed once. He confessed with his hand on the Bible. He confessed with his lawyer on, and 3 of these confessions you can listen to right here on YouTube. The third one, he confessed with his lawyer begging him not to, saying, this is post-conviction, saying, please don't confess again. I'm telling you not to do this. This will mess up your appeal. I mean, it's outrageous to say that we don't know. And the only way that they got out was by admitting their guilt. Well, it legally goes down as a guilty plea, an Alford plea. So I don't know what you call that. With the best lawyers, the most money, the best they could do was get out via an Alford by saying there was enough evidence to convict me. I'm still maintaining my innocence, but it goes down legally as a guilty plea. All 3 of them are convicted triple child murderers. So, I mean, this is why songs like this are just so outrageous, and yet this is what I would say most people believe. What do you guys think? Do you think most people believe this myth? Continuing on.
Gone away with murder and a horrible offense. But that's the way we do things in West Memphis. They didn't like the music I listened to. They didn't like the way I dressed.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, is Lucinda Williams just taking artistic license? So that's the way we do things in West Memphis? We see 3 8-year-old boys brutally beaten and murdered, and we just say, nobody, well, we're never going to figure out who did it. That's just the way. We just find some random people we don't like we say, who's walking down the street wearing a black t-shirt who might listen to Metallica? We don't like the Metallica people round here. We don't like them black t-shirt wearing people round here. Round up the usual suspects and let's put them on death row. That's the way we do things in West Memphis. I mean, how more ridiculous can you get? But I think it might get a little bit more ridiculous. Hang on.
They set me up with a forced confession. I never had a chance.
Wait, what? They set me up with a forced confession? Okay, so they forced a confession out of him. How? Which confession did they force, Lucinda Williams? I mean, I really think we should ban our artists and our songwriters, our filmmakers, our actors, celebrities. Please stop watching documentaries. Please. It only leads to bad things. That would be my unpopular law that I would support. A full ban on celebrities watching documentaries, or maybe even getting involved in political causes. I don't know.
Book out me at my expense. They got no common sense, but that's the way they do things in West Memphis.
Okay, they threw the book at me. They got no common sense. Because they're so incredibly unevolved that they just don't even have common sense. That's how bad it is in West Memphis, apparently. And they just threw the book at me. Well, they threw the book at an innocent person because they didn't care enough to find the actual murderers of 3 children. Really? Really? Is that really the way it went down? Really? Now I'm starting to see why my friend said that this was such a bad idea. I'm already getting riled up, and it is. I mean, how ridiculous is this? We're only a minute 19 in, so let's go. Let's move on.
That's the way we do things in West Memphis. That's the way we do things in West Memphis. It's never been any different, so don't come around here and try to mess with us, 'cause that's the way we do things in West Memphis.
You gotta admit it's catchy. You gotta admit that this is a catchy song. But I guess she's just saying that they just like pin child murders on innocent people in West Memphis. Like, that's plausible.
I was framed and sentenced to a life in prison for a crime I didn't commit. It wasn't nobody listen. I rose to my defense.
Wait, there wasn't anybody to listen who rose to my defense except the the documentary crew. The West Memphis 3 had very good lawyers. And then they only raised between $10 and $20 million for their defense. No one listened. Only $10 to $20 million worth of listening was done. And sometimes I believe that figure is actually higher, because it has never been disputed by West Memphis 3 supporters. They've never said, oh no, we didn't raise that much. I think they raised probably more than that. And the number I would think is staggering. There's a great clip, I wonder if it's still on William Ramsey's channel, where Henry Rollins is talking about how he was constantly calling up his fellow rich celebrity friends to raise more money for the West Memphis 3. Like, it's not enough yet, guys. Like, it was a constant money push.
Somebody planning the evidence, and he's been lying ever since.
Wait, somebody planted the evidence? That I don't think anybody, I don't even think West Memphis 3 supporters are saying that. That's a new one. Okay.
That's the way we do things in West Memphis.
So they not only find people in black
and after
t-shirts.
all these years, they still refuse to say what really happened. The crooked methods that...
Wait, so... So they plan evidence, they find random people to pin triple child murders on, and they seem to know what really happened. So in the beginning of the song, nobody knew what happened, but apparently now somebody knows what happens, but they're just not saying. So the truth has been covered up. Okay, we're on the home stretch here.
They used to frame an innocent man, hiding in the darkest secrets behind every picket fence. And that's the way we do things in West Memphis. That's the way we do things in West Memphis. Yeah, that's the way we do things in West Memphis.
Okay, so that's basically the entire song. So let's examine the crooked methods that they use to frame an innocent man are hiding in the darkest secrets behind every picket fence, and that's the way we do things in West Memphis. So it's never been any different, so don't come around here and try to mess with us. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think Lucinda Williams is talking about some kind of cover-up here, or is she talking about that no one really cares about the truth there, and it's sort of a systematic injustice? I don't know, but you have to say the tune is catchy. So that is Lucinda Williams, West Memphis. And I wonder if she is going to go the way that Bob Dylan went when he wrote the song Hurricane, based on Hurricane Carter. He actually was so convinced of, and that's also a wildly inaccurate song, so convinced of Hurricane Carter's innocence that he went and visited him in prison. And after that, Bob Dylan didn't want to play Hurricane live again. I believe he came to his senses and realized that the dude was meeting Hurricane Carter is a little bit of a shifty con man. He wrote 2 memoirs, and the memoirs themselves contradict each other in regards to the details of his crime. So there's another person who got out on a technicality and has gotten a myth created around them. So once again, don't believe the hype when it comes to the West Memphis 3 case. Yes, it's kind of amazing to believe. I think the hardest thing about the West Memphis 3 case is to believe that our media is so poor that the information that they provide us about this case is so wildly inaccurate, and that they can be swayed by PR firms. The West Memphis 3, they were represented by Lonnie Surrey, who's here in New York. He also worked with Marty Tankleff, and sometimes they give lectures. Lonnie Surrey gives lectures with Marty Tankleff about quote-unquote wrongful convictions. So let me know in the comment section if you think that this ended up being a poor idea or a good idea. And also, if you can like, share, and subscribe to this channel, especially share these episodes, it really helps this little podcast out, and I really appreciate it. So thanks so much, and I'll see you back next time.